Hello, friends. Good evening. Professor Shadow here. Good evening, Sunday night in the shadows with yours truly. And it's just a recap and have a look at what we've been up to and what I'm currently working on. So, first thing I want to say is let me get my stuff ready. As usual, I'm completely behind. Okay. First of all, about a year ago, year and a bit, I put this story out. I called it They Came on Two Legs. I also called it a secondary title, which was It Wasn't Just a Pup. And I put it on YouTube, and it didn't do that. It did okay. But recently, I reworked it and reworked the magic. So I was able to really enhance the visuals, which is incredible. Today's visuals is incredible. And I re-uploaded it to Facebook first. And my goodness, it's just exploded over here on Facebook. So if you've been watching, I see you. I see you watching. I know this is a type of tale. I knew people would connect with it because I did. It was a tale that I wanted to create. People often ask, how do you come up? Why do you create certain tales? And the idea that my response is this, is because there are stories I would like to watch, the stories I would want to see. And this was one of them, for the simple reason there was a couple of moments in there that really stood out for me. And that is the moment where you just see these two, they're not even really werewolves. I didn't create a werewolf story. I made them more evolutionary to werewolves, like shadow werewolves, dark cryptids. And it was the idea that these things were more intelligent than we are. And they didn't do anything. They just, they didn't have to. Their intelligence stood out. And that was the eerie style about it as a movie. As a movie starring my favorite actor of all time, Peter Cushing. It's called The Abominable Snowman. And in the end, you see these two like figures, like Yeti people. And they don't do anything. They're just there, but it's that atmosphere and that intellect that they show at the end, which was, I thought, I need to recreate that somehow in a story. And that's sort of how I got an idea for it. But anyway, we got a lot of people who enjoyed that. And I certainly enjoyed making it. I certainly enjoyed rewatching it because these things are really, you create them. So I made this story like a year and a half ago. I think about a year and a half. And it did okay. But I believe the story was so much more powerful than just being okay. So I'm so pleased people are connecting. I'm so pleased you're connecting with it. Yeah, I see this. So it inspires me to work on different stories. I've got some other stories in the bag that I'm working on. You know it, see? Indeed. Andrew, thank you. Welcome. I've got a couple of stories I'm working on in the bag here. So one is I call The Hand of Madness. I've already put some trailers out for it. And it combined a couple of my favorite movies of all time and trying to weave it into a new tale. Again, it's an older tale I wrote about maybe a year and a half ago. But with the new graphics that we have that we can create, I feel it's going to give it a new dimension. And it already has. I'm 3/4 of the way finished. So it's almost there. It's almost there. And it'll be the next one I put out. And I was digging in my archive. My archive is huge. I did a rec, and I believe I have around about 500 stories. 500. That's incredible. And I was looking through the ones that I feel should stand out, that need a rework. You have to consider maybe a year, 2 years ago, we didn't have the same graphic capability that we have today. So, given these new life, reworking these new ones is going to be pretty good. Pretty good. So that's what I'm working on there. I'll be working on The Hand of Madness, and another one I call A Dark Werewolf Tale, which has the most sinister twist at the end. But you'll get to see that, don't worry. A lot of these tales come from a place. I'm sure many of you are like me. You've lived life. I was having a conversation with another friend of mine, and he said to me, you would never have been able to write those stories in your 20s or 30s. You can only write them now you're in your 50s because you've been through so much pain. And you'll note that a lot of, pretty much all of my stories, work on that side that pain is the ultimate driver. For example, the werewolf. What is the beast in reality? It is us. It's just we've held it in too long. But when it frees itself, that's who we truly are. And then we had the power of the vampire as well. Based upon how powerful they are is how much pain they went through. So I'm sure you're much like me in the fact that you've been through it, the same as everybody has. Sometimes I look when people give their story and they're like, oh, I've been through this. And we all have. We've all been through it. We've all been through that breakup. Many of us have been through that divorce. Many of us have been lied to and cheated and disrespected. But isn't this what drives us? And then we come to our stories, to our horror, and it's not something that we aspire to. It's something that we can escape to, because we often see ourselves within the creatures. I don't know if you're anything like me, but when I watch many of the older movies, for example, The Wolfman, the hero for me is the monster. It's always been that way. The Frankenstein monster, Creature from Black Lagoon. I believe the hero is the monster. No one asked them to become a monster. No one asked to hunt them down or cage them. But they did it anyway. They did it anyway. I'm just checking my other screen here right now. And don't forget, I'm here, I always go live on a Sunday. There's no script. I just come on, tell you what I'm working on. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. If you want me to shout, give you a shout out, just say hi and I'll give you a shout out on the feed right now, live. I'm going to be here for another 20 minutes. So if you have questions about stories coming up, stories in the past, or anything Professor Shadow-ish, then just hit me up in the comments. I've got the comments right in front of me, so I can answer you straight away. Straight away. One thing I'm particularly interested in doing, but I'm not going to start it until the new year, is I'm interested in reworking some of my series. Now, I have a series that's like 50 episodes long. I'm probably going to save that one for later in the year. But I also have some other series that are 10 episodes long. And one in particular I'm really interested in reworking is one called The Eldritch Trials. In all honesty, it's probably one of my favorite stories because it goes somewhere that I've never seen before. It does something original that we haven't seen before. And that is looking at where the vampire, what happens to it when a vampire is killed? What happens to it? Is it just destroyed? But what happens to its essence? It was once a man or woman. Now what is it? So I created a story about that, and about how a man who was one of my most powerful vampires in my series, in my arcs, and what happened when he was destroyed. Where did he go? How does it work? So this and it created a huge arc within my stories. Hi, hello, my friend. Great to see you on here today. We're a little bit quiet today. Normally we have quite a few people on. We're a bit quiet today, but thank you particularly for joining me. Appreciate it. Just explaining about the Eldridge trials, the story I created, and then I put him through a bunch of trials where you see in my world, in what I call the Shadowverse, there's 3 main elements, and they're like vampires, werewolves, and undead, and they all have their deity. We're sort of like the most powerful one. And Eldridge has to go for a trial for each one. He has to face the most powerful werewolf. He has to face an undead army. He has to face a vampire legion. But the thing is, he's just a man. He doesn't have any powers. This was brilliant. This is what I loved about this story. Henrikson, hello, my friend. Great to see you. I was just literally talking about Eldridge Trials. So how I'm going to be reworking it in the new year. Currently, behind the scenes, working a couple of tales, Hand of Madness in particular I'm doing, with the new visuals. It's looking amazing. And there's another story, it's called A Dark Werewolf Tale, and has the biggest twist at the end that leaves you with the story in your mind when it ends. So I'm working. These are 2 I'm reworking right now. Over on YouTube, we just released Silithra, the vampire tale about the opera singer. So if you're with me over on YouTube, don't forget, go check that out. Brand new visuals and the beautiful ending. The ending's a little bit different. So if you enjoyed Silithra, which why wouldn't you? It's over there live right now on YouTube. So you can give that a look. And the tale I put out, I did a tale a year and a bit ago. I called it They Walked on 2 Legs. And I changed it to It Wasn't Just a Pup. And I've re-released that over in on my Facebook channel. It's just blown up. It's just, I see what people love here on this channel. So I see it. So I read every comment. So I know a lot of people that create don't read it. I read every comment that comes in, good and bad. So thank you, everyone, for amazing comments. And thank you for the terrible comments as well. It tells me who I don't want on my channel. Thank you so much. Have you seen the new werewolf movie, The Beast Within, with the actor playing Jon Snow? No, I don't think I have. I don't think so. Haven't seen it. I've been so busy, like just reworking. I reworked a bunch of new tales. I did Celithra. I did the Lucas and Alara original story. You Can't Cage a Werewolf. I did Danny and the Werewolf. And I'm currently doing Hand of Madness. These all been reworked from the ground up with new tools, new visuals. The visuals are amazing. Section edition, worth a watch. I'll have to have a look. Definitely over Christmas, because although I never stop over Christmas, but I will have a look. Definitely. Decent, worth the watch. Yes. So just check in. So usually we have our friends on there. A little bit. Any news about my boy coming out? The Rat King or Dimitri? Which one is your boy? I don't know. I know Henrik has two boys, right? Dimitri and the Rat King. I'm not sure one you're talking about today. Dimitri's my voice. This is not yet out in the Netherlands. The Beast Within is not out in the Netherlands yet. Hello, Kathy, by the way. Thank you for joining me this evening. Great to see you on. Dimitri, yes, Dimitri is an amazing character. Amazing character. I recently, the last time I did him was, or worked with him, was in the Jonas Creed series at the end. What a twist that was. My goodness. That was one of the most epic twists at the end, wasn't it? I love that idea. I love the idea. We bring in the hero, but it's the hero that we need to worry about. And that was what we did with Dimitri in the Jonas Creed saga. That was beautifully, if I do say so myself, beautifully done. Yeah, so I don't have any plans yet to rework a new story with Dimitri. I haven't had anything come to me lately where he fits. Currently, I'm doing a lot of reworking rather than putting new stuff out, because like I say, I looked in my catalog, and I'm probably about 450 to 500 in stories. And I'm thinking a lot of these have not got the time, the viewership that they deserve. So I'm reworking them. I'm currently working about 3 or 4 in one go, and like I say, Celithra is in the is out now. It's on the channel. Has a new ending, new graphics, completely videoed all the way through. It looks incredible. It looks incredible. So the new tools they're using are just beyond anything we've seen before. It looks so they bring the stories to life so well. They do take a bit of effort, take quite a while. It's not just a case of putting a few prompts in and you get what you want. It takes days, sometimes weeks to create. So we did that one. I've got Danny and the Werewolf done. Say yourself. It was awesome. He's so deep a character. Maybe make a rework of his entire story. I got some idea. I got some ideas. I got some ideas for Dimitri. He's such a powerful character. He's so deep in the lore of the Shadowverse, and I really want to do more. But at the minute, I'm reworking. I'm going to rework a few titles before I start creating a little bit more. What kind of movies are they? Maybe I can find the ones I'm talking about. They're Professor Shadow cinematic stories. Cinematic story means that it's video, like a movie background, but it's narrated. And what they are is like, they are deep in lore, which means every story is pretty much connected to another one over an entire base of stories. So you get familiar with the characters, what character, where they come from. We do backstories on characters, individual sagas of characters. Like I said, there's one series I did is like 50 episodes long. It's like 25 hours. You can watch the majority of what I've got. If you're thinking, where do I see Professor Shadow stuff? You can just go here, because I'm actually gonna head off here at 1:30, and I'm gonna go over to here. It'll take you to I call it the vault. It's free, completely free. Go in and see all the stories if you'd like to watch them. We have a community in there. We have stories in there. We have them catalogued, so you don't get lost too much, even though there's loads. And we do like quizzes and challenges. But yeah, if you want to see all of my tales, not all of them, majority of them, some of them you can't watch straight away. But you can go to my website, professorshadow.com/vault, and it'll take you to I call it the vault, and it will take you inside. It's absolutely free. You don't need to pay anything. You just come in and be a part of my community, where I share what I'm getting up to, and I have a catalog of all the stories. If that's you, if you like your horror a little bit more depth, a little bit more without the blood and gore, but with the lingering horror within you, then head over and give it a look. Give it a look. I'll be live there in about 7 minutes. Sometimes I go live, there's no one in there. Sometimes I go, some people. But I'm always going to be here on a Sunday. I just like to check in with people. I create a lot of content, and a lot of it is story based, deep horror, philosophical horror, the meaning behind why we're attracted to vampires, werewolves. But I like to go live just to show a face of who is behind everything. I think that's important. Sounds great to me. Yeah, welcome, Kathy. Come on in. I'll be there. Everything's out. If you head over there now, you have to go because by invite. I'll let you in. No problem. I'll be there in about 6 minutes. So next week we're going to have new releases coming out. We've got The Hand of Madness. The Hand of Madness. Imagine going to an auction and finding a pickled hand for sale, and you see this hand and it calls to you. It's in the jar. It calls to you. And you have to spend your life savings on buying this hand. But as soon as you get it back home, you isolate yourself. You lock yourself away from everybody. And it starts talking to you because there's something else about the hand. It's not just a hand. It's the hand of someone. It's the hand of a powerful entity that wants to be free. And it can only be free if it receives its hand back. So you have to smash it open. But when you smash it open, it doesn't just lay there. It comes to life and starts moving around. And it's calling to you. It's controlling you for you to set something free that you know you shouldn't set free. Because once you do set it free, the world, as you know it, will change. This is the first time I see you. Excellent. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. Come on in over to the vault. We are there. I buy that hand immediately. Yes. I got the idea. Do you remember there's quite a few. Favorite one is a movie with Peter Lorre called The Beast with Five Fingers. My goodness, amazing. And then we had Dr. Terror's House of Horrors with Christopher Lee, and it had that hand moving along. I sort of got an idea for that, but then it changed. We changed the worldview of what happens. Yes, reworked. I'm actually not finished it. I'm in the middle of reworking the entire tale, and it will be available next week. It will be available next week. Do not worry. I like that. I weave a tale of how bad this hand's going to be. Kathy's, I'll buy that hand immediately. Nice. Nice. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be up to next week, is I'll be working the new tale or the reworks. Head over to YouTube. I'm going to be on YouTube with some new stuff or new rework stuff. This week I got out Solifera for last week. They came on 2 legs this week. My goodness. New stuff, Tony. What is the way to the fold? Way to the fold. How to get to the vault? Simply go, or if you're on Facebook, go to the top of the page and it says watch now. Click that button, it'll take you straight there. So if you're on Facebook, go to the top of the page. There's a blue button, top of my page. It says watch now. Click that, it'll take you straight there. Or if you'd rather just go by a URL, the website is professorshadow.com/vault, as seen on your screen right now. You can head over there. I'm going to be there in like a couple of minutes. Normally have a few people in there. It's a bit quiet today, so... but then we do have Christmas coming up. We do have Christmas, which means it's probably going to be quiet. But I'll jump on there for about 10 minutes inside the vault to have a chat, see who's about. And yes, in fact, I'm going to head over there right now. So don't forget, if you'd like to join me in the vault, professorshadow.com/vault. And I will be in there. If you want to come and chat, you don't need to be on camera. You don't need to chat and just type. I like what you put on Facebook. Desiree, thank you so much. Appreciate it. So I'm going to head over now to professorshadow.com/vault, or go to the top of the page on Facebook, click watch now. And I'm going to be live once again inside the vault. If you're in the vault, you have access to the majority of my stories at your fingertips. Friends, thank you for joining me this Sunday. Pop over and see me in the vault, or I'll be here next week, Sunday. Look out, I've got a bunch of stuff coming over on both YouTube and Facebook this week. Check it out. See you real soon. Professor Shadow here, signing out. Good evening.